Alright everybody, we are back for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, and we are going to talk about everybody's favorite subject today, which is going to be mods. Now, before I get into this video, do not forget to check me out on Twitch. I will have the link to my Twitch in the description below. I stream every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, and I am excited. So this one's going to be a little bit more of a beginner guide into a lot of the tips that I like to try and remember at least. I've learned a decent amount about them, mostly through streams. I do a Mod Monday stream every single Monday, and a lot of it isn't necessarily everything is just me showing people things. A lot of people teach me things, and I learn something new every single week. So let's go ahead and get into the video, and we're going to go ahead with the first tip. So the first tip is going to be the arena meta will change every few months. The reason to work on your mods is going to be that they will never leave. The more you invest in your mods, the better every single arena team, GAC team, etc. will be for the rest of your Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes career, or just game, whichever one you want. But, so we're going to go ahead and just move on to the second one. So when looking at the mods, you can see here that these are 5-dot mods. If you go to the mod challenges, there are 3 different tiers. Tier 3 is where you're going to get all of your 5-dot mods. These are going to be the ones that you want to work on getting. Once you get to the point you are doing tier 3s, tier 2 and tier 1 are absolutely useless. And selling pretty much every single 4-dot. I literally sell every 4 through 1 dot mod because they don't do anything. They get outscaled so quickly that just stick with the 5 dots, you'll be better off, and just don't worry about the 4 dots ever again. The second tip that I really like is going to be that if you look at the different mods you have, these are level 1, which you can see right here. You're going to see one, the level, and the second one is going to be what will tell you it's E, D, C, B, or A right here. The filters will help you out a lot as you go through things. However, when you level up your mods, so if you look, when I hit this mod to level 3, it gains the first secondary stat. When I level it to 6, it will gain the second one. 9, it will gain the third stat. And 12 is where it will gain the fourth stat. Now, this is going to be the same for every single one. However, the big part about this is going to be if it's an E, you take it to 12, and this will show you all 4 stats that you want to look at. So personally, this is a crit chance. There's no crit chance here. I will sell this mod. Now, if you go to the Ds, you can, since it already has the first one, leveling it to 3 gives you the second, 6, the third, 9 will give you the fourth. Now, when you level it up to 12 this time, it will show the first stat allocation that it has. So that means that this one has 2 into health. I personally do not want this mod, so we'll sell that. C is going to be pretty much the same thing. It just goes down. When I do 3, the third stat, 6 is now the fourth stat. If you only upgrade it to the point you have the 4 stats showing, you can decide whether or not you want to keep that mod, and you save 67,000 credits by not upgrading this up to 12, and 230,000 credits by not upgrading this up to level 15 before you decide if you want to sell it. So I don't want that one either. And then B, you literally only need to upgrade it to 3 to decide if you want to keep this mod. From here, don't want to sell that one either. All of the A's, you can see every stat that is on the mod ahead of time. And when you level it up to 3, it will start showing where the stat allocations go. So it's always 3, 6, 9, and 12. So that will show you where they go. And you can decide ahead of time. You do not have to take it to 12. The only one you need to take to 12 before you decide to sell it is going to be your emods. And that's just because you don't see all 4 stats until it's at that point. And then once you know if you want to keep the mod, then you can choose whether or not to level it up to 15. Because the 12 to 15 is roughly 162,000 credits. So choosing it before you level to 15 can save you a lot of credits if you're doing this for every single mod in your roster. Okay, so tip number 5, I think, is going to be always work on keeping your set bonuses. So there's going to be health, defense, crit damage, crit chance, tenacity, offense, potency, and speed. So when you are looking at each one of them, the health sets require 2 right here to complete a set bonus. When you so when you are looking at the mod for the 2, if it is not level 15, which it should be, you have a 5%. If you have the level 15, then you're looking at a 10% health bonus for having 1 set. Now, you can have multiple set bonuses on each character. So the health sets are going to require 2 mods of a health set to get your bonus. The defense requires 2. Your crit damage requires 4. Your crit chance requires 2. Tenacity requires 2. Offense requires 4. Potency is 2. And speed is 4. So what's nice to do for a lot of the sets, the easiest one to think of is, since there's 6 different mods you can put onto a loadout, you can do things like 4 of the crit damage and then 2 of the crit chance. That way you're increasing the crit damage or increasing your crit chance to have a better chance of hitting a crit, which if you're using crit damage and crit chance, you'll also be doing more damage because you have a crit damage set. So you can try and link things like that. A lot of characters use multiple different sets. So you're going to need to figure out the characters and what you want to put on them. The next one is going to be the biggest secondary stat that you're going to want to take into consideration is going to be your speed. So speed is going to be the absolute king. These 30 speed primary stats are very, very helpful. However, you can get very, very high with speed secondaries. So like this is a 28 speed secondary. That is literally the highest non-triangle one that I have. So you can get really, really up there. I believe 30 is the max you can get as the secondary stat, which is not going to be easy to get. Literally the next one I have 27, 26, 25. So they are very, very hard to get, but if you can work on them in the right sets, you can get it very, very high up. And speed will help you get more turns, which then allows you to use more abilities. It pretty much helps for literally every single team. There are very few characters that you do not need speed on. The one that most people are going to have is going to be Enfys. So I have 13 speed on my Enfys, and I do not have very good mods on her. She is not used a whole lot by me. But the more tenacity you have on her, the better off she is. So you can sort of tell some characters don't need it. It's just very, very few. 99.9% of the time, you are going to want as much speed as possible. Like, you want them to beat the other team right off the bat. Just speed race that crap. Don't slow down. Another one that I personally just recently learned is when you are looking at the mod. So if it is a percentage offense, the only stats that it affects is going to be your base attributes. So this right here is going to be what is added after the mod. So with the mods, this right here is it with the mods. So subtract this from that, and that is the only thing that matters when you're looking at the mods. Now, percentages can get you more stats than the flat offense, protection, etc. However, before you hit gear 12, so gear 11 and below, the flat stats will get you more stats out of it per mod. Now, the reason that is once you hit gear 12, the amount of stats that are in the gear is just significantly higher. However, once you're at gear 11 and you have, say, 5 out of the 6 items equipped, those 5 items are not included at all in the mods. So once you hit that next gear level, that's when all of the stats are actually included into the mod percentages. And once you go from gear 12 until you have that next completed gear level, none of the additional gear actually gets included in with the mod percentages. So until you hit gear 12, the flat stats will actually give you more, generally speaking, than your percentage stats. So that's something to take into consideration. One thing I want to start working on is getting those flat stats for characters that I don't want to take past gear 11 for, say, events, or possibly for, I guess the old raids don't matter anymore because we can sim them now. But I'm sure there's something you can think of that you may not want to take a character to gear 12. Actually, another example would be you cannot take any marquee characters to gear 12 unless you get them 7-starred. So until you get that character 7-starred, you're better off with the flat stats than the percentage stats. Okay, so another one that actually is sort of a big deal. I always try to follow this one because it irks me if I don't. But always work on getting completed set bonuses. So if it is a speed, make sure you have 4 speeds. If it is health, make sure you have at least the 2. Crit damage, the 4. Making sure you get those set bonuses, like even for speed, that is 10% increased speed, which means, example for my Bastila, I currently have 273 speed. So that means that I believe it should be about 15 extra speed just from this. Now, if I go in here, so we said 273. If I take and put, we'll say just put this one on there. So 11 speed would have taken it to 262. However, because I lost that set bonus, it took it all the way down to 247 instead. So you can lose a lot of speed or a lot of other stats that you would otherwise have by not having that set bonus on there. Okay, so the next one's actually another really important one. I use it a lot. Not everybody does. So I don't always know every single character. The amount of different things in the kits can get astronomical. So using this can be very, very helpful to make sure that you do not have to remember every single kit. So if you go here, you can go to stats, mod meta report, and this will show you every single character that is in the game. So say I want to see how SLKR is modded. Most people are running him with an offense set and health set. So you can see what sets they're using, and then these will be the primaries for the ones that you have choices on. Now, when you're looking at the mods, some of them you do not actually have choices in what you are going to be running. So the square, no matter what one you do, is always going to be offense. The triangle has a few different options. So you can run speed, crit avoidance, defense, health, protection, and accuracy. Accuracy is the other one. For the diamond, the only thing you can run is defense. Every single mod that you get will be running defense. The circle are all going to be either health or protection. There's a health one. The triangle has a lot of different ones. So you can get health, tenacity, offense, defense. I think I said protection already. Potency. So those will be ones for that. And then triangle, you can get crit chance, crit damage, offense, defense, protection, and I believe health. So there's different options. However, some of them you do not, which it is going to be the square, diamond. The only two those are the ones that have zero choice on what you get. The other ones are limited by the mod, and the only one that can have a primary speed is going to be the triangle. Is going to be this screen right here is your mod loadouts. So the mod loadouts can be very, very helpful. It's something I need to work on a lot. However, one thing you can do is, example, say the Geonosian mission is coming up for the territory battles for Geo, and you want to get Watt. You can have preset mods. So all I have to do is come here, and I can click on, this is if I was on Brood Alpha, I can assign this mod set and transfer it to them. And then you can make multiple different ones, so that way after the territory battle, when you're done with it, you can just put them back on the characters with just two moving of the mods. So do the loadout, move it to Brood Alpha, then you can move it back to the characters that you took them off of with other loadouts, and it can make things significantly quicker than trying to remember what ones you did and have like it written out. So the loadouts can be absolutely amazing. A lot of people have significantly more than I do. There is actually a cap. I think I've only ever met one person that has actually capped it out. So that one's actually really impressive as well. But the loadouts are absolutely amazing, and they are a vital point. I have a bunch of different ones. That way I can put stuff back onto the characters after I do the different missions. The last tip of this video is going to be one that a lot of people know about, but if you're new to the game, you probably won't have actually thought about it until later. Is going to be ships. When you are in your fleet arena, if the character has a pilot, the mods that character has matter. So example, the ship is currently 31,685 power. If I add a gold mod to this character, it bumped up to 32,295. And this affects the stats. So the higher mod you have, the higher it affects the stats for the characters. Example, one of the best examples for boosting it up, and this also includes the relic tier, is going to be for capital ships. The higher mods you have on your pilot, the faster your capital ship can get. Having your Kenobi faster than, or having your negotiator faster than another negotiator, forces them to play the entire battle completely different. As well, it does not matter what stats are on the mods. As long as it is one of these gold mods, then you're fine. Now, if I bump this down to one of the not highlighted gold ones, so from the, I can't actually remember what it's called. Oh, the Mark 6. As long as it's one of the Mark 6, you're good. If it is a Mark 5, your ship will now lose power compared to if it had a Mark 6. So always shoot for the highest you can get. It'll just help your fleet arena as well in GAC if you're using multiple different fleets. But that is just something to take into consideration as well. Alright guys, so that is going to be the end of the video. I know it's not always the most fun subject to talk about. It's mods. Nobody is very big on them. However, they are very, very important for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, especially if you care about your Fleet Arena and your Grand Arena. I love Fleet, and it helps me out a lot in my GACs. So, again, do not forget to check me out on Twitch. The description for that will be in the link below. I stream every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, and then I do stream the GACs as well. So, until next time, Zoo's closing down for the night.